So recently I've been sharing a lot of horror stories working in this gig economy. Everything from DoorDash to Shipped, and I've talked about Lime before charging electric scooters. Well, Lime was probably one of those that gave me the most horror stories. That's why we're back for part 2, going over even more Lime juicing horror stories. I'm surprised I even have this many, but there's more. Let's start off with the chase. I feel like this one was almost the fault of the app when I was doing this maybe a year or so ago, but nonetheless, just to give you some background here. As a Lime juicer, you sign up to charge these on-demand electric scooters at home. You go out that night at 9 p.m. it was at the time. These scooters went live on the app that were low power. They needed charge. So at 9 p.m. all of these would become available, and you and your fellow juicers in the marketplace would see all these scooters populate. And in the app, it would tell you how much you'll get paid to charge each scooter. Now, when I first started, the pay was pretty good. They would pay you $7 per scooter. So you collect one scooter, $7, another scooter, $7, $777. And I'm here in San Diego. It's a pretty dense marketplace. There was a lot of scooters here in San Diego. So the hunt was on. All these juicers would hit the field at 9 p.m. looking for these scooters. And some even paid more, depending on how long they've been without power, how low they were on power, etc. So the hunt was on. We're all looking for these scooters. And I feel like word was spreading here in San Diego. Like, hey, you can do this as a side hustle. And yeah, you see all those scooters out there, you can get paid to charge those. So another night, it was post at 9 p.m. I'm looking for scooters. I think it was in the North Park area here in San Diego, which wasn't too far away. And I'm scanning my app, as we all do, and I see a higher dollar scooter a couple minutes away. Basically, what I try to do is be in very dense areas of the marketplace where there's a ton of scooters, so I can collect a whole lot in not a lot of time. So I'm grabbing scooter after scooter around the corner, down the block, another block away. They're all pretty close by. So they start to thin out pretty quickly because there's a lot of juicers out and they're grabbing up those scooters. So you gotta be quick, you gotta be prompt. So I see a scooter, let's say it's a $10 scooter, maybe a higher paying scooter. And I'm driving, it was probably like 3 minutes away to get it, right? Not too far. And I remember the sense of urgency, the hustle, the alertness, like, I need to grab this scooter because someone else could grab it. You see on your whatever, Google Maps, whatever, I'm getting closer, closer, 2 minutes away, 1 minute away, just hundreds of feet away. And I think I see it. What the juicing app lets you do is ping that scooter, or ring that scooter in essence, and it will chime to give you a better idea, okay, where is it at? So I'm pulling up, I'm getting closer and closer, and I chime the scooter and I see it. It is right there to my left. So perfect, let's grab it before someone else grabs it. I pull over on the curb and I look to my left and I see another juicer see me from across the crosswalk, stop my vehicle. I had a Dodge Caliber at the time, and it was a hatchback, and you could see in the back. And I had, a pile of scooters back there. The juicer sees me, and I see their eyes almost widen, and they start running across the crosswalk just as I'm pulling over on the curb, and it's right there on the other side of the street. The juicer runs across the crosswalk and gets to that scooter just as I'm about to touch my door handle and get out and grab that scooter. And to be honest, that kind of pisses you off as a juicer. You're driving there, that's my scooter, $7, $10, $11, easy money, I'm gonna charge it overnight, and someone grabs it seconds before you. So you just wasted your time. And that happened multiple times on the juicing platform. In my opinion, that was the most toxic feature of the juicing platform. It would put juicers up against each other, and people were racing to get these scooters. And there were actually confrontations when juicers got to the same scooter at the same time. Actual confrontations of who's gonna get this scooter. That happened to me at the boardwalk at one of the beaches here. And again, it's extremely frustrating. I was lucky enough to get to a bundle to harvest is what it was called, gathering, it was harvesting. And I was harvesting 4 scooters. Easy money. Scan, 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 scan. So as I'm scanning this bundle, another juicer comes up and scans one of those scooters in the bundle that I was already scanning. And I remember I said, hey, I was gonna grab that. I'm scanning the scooters. And they say, well, sorry, someone just grabbed another scooter that I was just trying to get. So they literally rob your scooter that you claimed it already. It was an extremely toxic part of the app. Now, I mentioned in videos, one of the biggest things that Lime needed to do to improve that system was to have a reservation system. They had it for the riders. They needed it for the juicers. So they added that feature. You could only reserve one at a time, however, but then there were other stories that you could only reserve it for 30 minutes, right? So if I'm scanning this scooter and I know there's one over there, I'll claim it and then go get it. But there were stories of juicers grabbing it anyway, putting it in their vehicle, waiting for that 30 minutes to expire and then claiming it at that point. So that was an absolute horror story. Basically competing for money, competing with other people, zooming around on the streets, trying to beat someone by mere seconds, which happened a lot in my opinion. But now let's talk about a scooter that I did get to. So whenever you're grabbing these scooters, again, they release at 9 p.m. and that time was later moved, later and later in the evening when those scooters become live in the marketplace. But at the time, it was still 9 p.m., so I would be out there at 9 p.m. It's at night, and I'm harvesting my scooters. Now, I see one that's on the side of the road, and I'm en route to go get it. This was behind some businesses. This was in a more rural area, a grassy area, a random 3-stop intersection. Not much around it, pretty poorly lit, so I'm coming down this winding hill, down to this stoplight, and I'm getting closer and closer to the icon on the Lime app. So I park short of the light on the side of the road there. No one else is around, right? And I get out and I'm using the ping feature to find this scooter. And you can hear it. And one of the craziest things about this whole experience is you become really attuned to listening to that faint tone. Just listening so carefully for that ringing of that scooter. And I hear it. It's so faint, and I'm listening, and I'm tracking in the app, and I'm moving closer and closer, and I can hear it. It's getting louder, I'm getting closer. So I'm standing on the other side of the road now, at the guardrail, and I hear it, but I hear it beneath me. So I look down, and that scooter is way down in a gorge. So I'm looking to my left and my right, and I'm basically looking at the train, and it's extremely rough to get down there. So basically what happened is someone chucked it over the guardrail. So that just equates to a big waste of time yet again whenever you find these scooters in inaccessible areas. So if you have a scenario like that, it's not worth it. Don't go down rough terrain, traversing down there just to grab a $7 scooter. And that's before they reduced rates. That would basically be a $4 scooter. Now, let's not forget all the unusual, the random places that this gig brings you. I can't think of any other app in this gig economy that's brought me to more unusual or random or even sketchy areas like the Lime juicing platform. And this is all at night, and this is all out of your vehicle for a decent amount of time. It's not like delivery where you just make the delivery. It's not like rideshare where you just stay in your vehicle. For this, you have to park, you have to get out, you have to find a scooter, then load it into your vehicle. So I remember one time this was in a municipal park, and I go in there after hours. I remember there's at least 1 or 2 other people in that parking lot. Who knows why? It was back there by the tennis courts, after hours, completely dark, but that's where the Lime app instructed me to go. And another time it was up this hill in the park. So I'm just parking my vehicle on one of these streets that go through the park, and I have to climb up this little hill, and it's sitting there basically at the middle of the hill. So some cars are going by. Meanwhile, my car is sitting there with the 4-ways on and the hatchback open, and I'm up here with my flashlight making sure I don't fall down. It wasn't a big hill, but I have my flashlight making sure I don't tumble down this hill trying to get this scooter. And other times I found the scooter was behind a locked fence in someone's garage, in someone's home. Now, as I got more familiar with the app, you can kind of see in the app if it's in a home, but imagine thinking it's just in the alleyway when it's actually in someone's alleyway garage or behind a locked fence. More wasted time. Other times the scooter itself was completely destroyed when you get there. And lastly, I remember one time I arrived to an apartment complex and these kids are playing with the dead scooter. It basically chimes whenever you try to manually push it without pinging on the platform. And these kids are manually pushing this scooter and it's chiming. It's basically alarming because you can't do that. And I had to tell them, I was like, oh, hey, I'm here to actually charge that scooter. That's kind of why it's pinging. It's low on power. Some of these scenarios were just so weird. You can't really make it up. It's so many odd encounters, scooters laid everywhere. Part of the reason why they left San Diego entirely. So I can't say that really any other app has given me so many odd stories or even taken me to more sketchy areas than the Lime Juicer program. Do you agree? Are you a Lime Juicer? Have you tried other apps that have given you some very odd stories? Let me know down below in the comments. Make sure to check out my first link in my description. That's for my Amazon storefront for the very best accessories for your side hustle. Click or tap the screen now for my most recent video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.